here to Standing Rock, and I'm here on the reservation. And when I just meet, different indigenous families, people here who are from Turtle Island, I feel like they're family, because I feel like all the indigenous tribes of North and South are very connected. So I come here and I feel like at home. I mean, I came with my brother, so I came with family. We have family from South Dakota as well. But yeah, so I came here and I, feel very welcome. And also people that I've just met have become family, because that's the way that that's the indigenous way, is just to receive, to feed, to love, to share fire, and just everyone becomes auntie and stuff. So yeah, so that's really beautiful, and it just reminds me of the way my family is too. Very welcoming, even hard times, just throughout everything. We're always like that. So, what brings me to Standing Rock is being with family, praying with family, and for water, protecting the water.
What are some of the ways you think people being here help protect the water?
Well, I mean, I guess there's two main ways. There's the spiritual, ceremonial resistance. So being here and praying, being here in ceremony. And then the other side of that is direct action, more of going to the front lines, so going where the oil pipeline construction sites are, and praying or singing there, or other times marching with banners and signs. So those are the two main ways that people are protecting the water here. When it comes to defending of land, defending of waters, like Standing Rock, the pipeline, is it enough just to pray? I don't think it is, but it's just interesting to learn about what is the best way to resist, right? Because they already took sacred land, so it's and they want to take more, and it's so painful to see that, and I can't just sit back either, and go in ceremony. So that's something that I've been learning about, and I've learned about different kind of warriors. Yes.
right side of history. And let's keep together and walk in prayer, walk in beauty. Drink oil!
Keep it in the soil!
Drink oil!
Keep it in the soil! Keep it in the soil! Keep it in the
I came all the way over here with love and respect. I come in here with solidarity to our local leadership. I understand we have different angles, different perspectives on strategies and all this, but I come out of love and respect. If you're a part of this group today, we are in unity here out of love and respect. That's our local elders' request. So I'm thankful for everyone being here. I'm thankful for who you are. We are human beings, like my elder sister was saying. I honors creation by acknowledging that I am who I am. You see? No one can say that I'm a weak man or a flawed man. I'm just a man that Creator created. And I'm so thankful I walk the way I do and I talk the way I do. No one can tell me or dictate to me how I feel as a human being. I love myself. I love myself. I respect myself. And this is the way I've learned how to truly, truly respect others.
This story has been misinformed in the history books that we read when we go to school. For the first time in American history, the indigenous people have the space to tell the world their own story.
We're still here!
And this has only been made possible because of our white brothers and sisters that have come to the realization that they play a very important role in the freedom and liberation of their country. As you see, our white brothers and sisters are defending us, surrounding us. This is not just the protection for the indigenous people that are inside, but it's also for the protection of the officers on the outside and the rest of this country. They are standing as true warriors and true defenders of liberty, of freedom, of democracy.
We have endured because we have a core value that our matriarchal society that we forgot about. We assimilated and acculturated a lot of negative things that have been detrimental to our culture. But again, through all our elders, we endured and we held on to that core value that in the Lakota way we say wo Lakota, and it's a way of life. The way of life is through that sacred pipe that was brought to us by Pesawi, the sacred white buffalo calf pipe woman. A woman brought this message. A woman brought this sacred way and this eternal word that is written on every heart of every Native American in America. And that all life is sacred and to be treated with respect, meaning the earth, the water, the plants, the animals, and all of God's children. This is our homeland. There is no truer patriot or greater American who has made a sacrifice to defend this country and protect the freedom that all other people take for granted. It is paid for in blood. We called out to America's conscience to say, yes, yes, we owe them a debt of gratitude for the sacrifices and the injustices we have suffered as Native American people, true Americans. And when we put out the call, America answered. We are thankful that the American people are here because this is not just about our water. We hold that water sacred as Native Americans, and we have defended it and strive to defend it for all of mankind, all of humanity. That is our way. That is the way we have been from the beginning of time. And we started with a prayer, a peaceful prayer, a prayer from ancient times by fireplaces that glowed the light in the darkness. And we shared that prayer here, and we saw it blossom into this right here. America is speaking when we see all these American citizens whose ancestors who have paid the eternal price with us in wars, stood by us, and helped build us into the greatest country in the world. Our ancestors, white, black, red, yellow, have stood together to dispel and displace racism and hate and greed. So now it is time for America to speak again, to stand up in solidarity and fight for that right. As Americans, we have to change the destiny and the legacy we're going to leave our children. And it has to be something pure and good. We can't continue in racism and greed and hatred. We must leave our children a true legacy of love, forgiveness, and understanding, and take those core values. I am so proud of our youth. My heart swells. I'm honored to be in this historic moment in time where people in the world and the United States and all people and all tribes have come together in a common cause. America's resources are not for sale, just like the Black Hills or any native lands. We still have that Constitution, and if we abide by it in a peaceful manner, we can endure and change America, because it says on that great document that the Founding Fathers wrote so long ago, we the people, not we the government. We the people control America.
It's called the constitutional right to freedom of assembly, and we have the right to be right here. We have the right to freedom of the speech, and we have the right to freedom of press. And when you deny us that, by saying that you don't even have to abide by the constitutional law, and you don't have to abide by your own law, the North Dakota Century Code, because you have a state of emergency, well, you know what? That's racist. We are of all institutions to stand up with us. We don't want you to hurt us anymore. That's all we are asking. Don't hurt us. Don't hurt us. That is all we are asking.
We're here because we're not treating life itself as a mere sentiment. You know, we're here as an act of willingness. And I just thank you all for your strength, because I'm just a speck. I wouldn't be anything without this camp. But I will put my life on the line for this land. That's why I give my flesh. That's why I give my flesh for my Chinoopa, and I will carry my pipe in a good way.
It is not okay to stand by and watch the desecration of sacred lands. And we ask the people of Bismarck and Mandan to join us to demand that their government do what it needs to do to stop the Dakota Access Pipeline. And we will continue to come here, and we will continue until the fight has been won, until the black snake is dead.
Mni Wiconi! Mni Wiconi! Mni Wiconi!
Our ancestors are with us. We have another young gentleman that'd like to say a few words.
I kindly ask and humbly request that everybody here that's gathered here, the protectors of planet Earth, we all imagine giving all the police officers hugs. Let's pick a police officer, send love their way, because they're the ones that need it the most. Imagine, engrave their face in your mind and just send them love. And just know they're a part of us. They're a reflection of us.
We love you!
They're our shadow side of us. But we still love them nonetheless.
I love you!
Celebrate being alive. Thank you for all being alive.
I find water very loyal because it's actually a part of us, because 68% of our body is made of water, and so it makes it a lot more easier to understand why people are protecting our water.
Being here is a way of standing up and saying enough is enough. There are other ways of living simpler, of living closer to the earth, and of being more in harmony with the cycles of life and nature. Yeah. So, and I think also saying enough is enough of treating minorities so horribly. You know, I don't want that to be in my name, or just because of the way I look. Or it's not what I want. You know. So that's definitely another reason of standing in solidarity for what I believe in.
You know, this is our only water source here, the Missouri River. This is where I drink from, this is where my horses drink from. And, you know, when that pipeline bursts, you know, it's going to ruin our water, you know. And it really hurts me to know that, you know, it was, you know, supposed to go through north of Bismarck. But they said it was going to be a danger to their water supply. So they moved it, you know, south of Bismarck. And so if you think it's going to be a danger for Bismarck's water, well, isn't it a danger for ours?
brings you out here, Shelley?
My love and respect for our indigenous brothers and sisters, the First Nations. And this part of the medicine wheel, the white nation, really honors and supports them, and that we're very sorry for what our ancestors did. And this blue tape on this hoop here is representative of the water, and it's bringing all of these nations together. The white, the black, the red, and the yellow, and the water. The water is what binds us all, because we all need water. Water is life, Mni Wiconi. And so I actually am grateful for this black snake, these oil pipelines, because if it weren't for this Dakota Access Pipeline, then there wouldn't be this gathering here, and there wouldn't be hundreds of nations gathered together as one human family, and there also wouldn't be a huge awareness that's coming up around big oil, which is leading us to the understanding that we need to create more sustainable ways of living so that the future generations have a mother. And so I trust that everything's in divine alignment, and so I'm here to help stop the Dakota Access Pipeline from going in the ground, so we can show the world that when people come together as one in peaceful prayer to protect something that is so near and dear to life itself, to protect something that is life itself, that great change can come from grassroots. That's why I'm here.
Initially, when they were going to run this pipeline, they claimed that they were really serious about taking it north of Bismarck. Whatever interpretation you make of this, It's either way an overtly racist act. If it's true that the whites in Bismarck rejected it, then it shows that we mean nothing to them, and they redirected it down here a half-mile from the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation. If our interpretation is correct, this was their intention all along. So this goes to asserting authority. A half-mile from here begins the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation. And then you have the Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation, right contiguous with it. It goes on for about 200 miles. So we talk about peace. A Lakota warrior is not like an American warrior or a European warrior. We do not do scorched earth policy. We do not kill women and children and old people indiscriminately. A Lakota warrior always seeks a peaceful resolution to all conflicts until no other recourse of action is available. That is, everything must be expended before we choose that option. And we have many, many options ahead of us. This is why this camp is a peaceful camp, because this is a Lakota warrior tradition. We are seeking a peaceful resolution. So I see this going on here, and the media all over the United States talking about here in this camp, there's violent Indian activists with violent, radical agitators from the outside, scaring poor local white people and standing in the way of energy independence. Sounds similar to another narrative from the 1800s, which is that violent, savage Indians living on the Great Plains were raping white women and killing white men and children and standing in the way of civilization and progress and must be cleared from the land. It's the exact same narrative. So how do we stop that narrative? Because they control the media. By doing this, getting our voice out, so they can see what's going on. This is a camp filled with old people, little kids, pregnant women, disabled people, and Lakota warriors trying to find a peaceful end to this so that everybody's okay, that everybody's safe, that everybody has clean water, and that nobody here gets hurt in any way. Across the road here, there was a prairie fire, maybe a week and a half ago. It was not too long after they took the North Camp, in which I was taken and arrested and held for 7 days, leading a prayer circle. What had happened is a few days after that happened, our numbers began to swell because the video of the excesses of the police and their basically military action spread all over the world, with pictures of DAPL workers as we're being arrested and detained, destroying sacred burial grounds and ransacking the camp. So thousands and thousands of good-hearted people of all colors came here to support. They flooded this camp. And suddenly, one night, a prairie fire started about midnight. I've heard talk, and I don't know the verification of this, but I heard that they've determined it was arson. Well, if it had jumped the road and come into this camp, those who have seen prairie fires know that they run hot and fast and quick. It's a flash burn with intense heat. We have couples sleeping in polyester tents, polyester sleeping bags. We got, once again, disabled children and elderlies that can't move very quickly. We got teepees, propane tanks. Many people here would have died if that fire had crossed over. But what happened? For 5 hours it burned, and the Bureau of Indian Affairs out of Standing Rock was not allowed to come up and extinguish the fire. But a wind blew from the east and held the fire at check across the road. Finally it went out. Well, that was the Creator protecting us. But what's so disturbing to me about it is it was the same tactic they used during the Plains Indian Wars. They would set the camp on fire, and when everybody ran out, they'd slaughter them. This is how desperate these guys are to do this. This is an embarrassment spreading over the entire world, and yet they persist. This makes you ask, what is their intention? Simple greed and money does not explain this. This is so overtly racist, it's obvious to everyone. So, I ask you, while we're here and we're still resisting this, yes, send donations, send letters of support, send help. That's great, that's what we need. But also send bodies. We need as many people to come here as humanly possible, to keep our numbers up and keep them in check, to let them know that this resistance isn't going to end. When I was 7 years old, I was taught a prophecy. I was sitting on the floor and my blood father told me this. I can't tell you the first part of the prophecy because it has to be kept secret until it happens. But the second part of the prophecy is this: the unification of the Red Nations. This is a great healing of the Red Nation and their hoop, all the tribes. But all the whites, the blacks, and the yellows that have come here were sent here. The Creator brought them here not as supporters, not as observers, but as participants. Because the spiritual, emotional, mental, intellectual healing that's going to occur with them, they're going to take home and spread all over this planet.